Birth and early life. Chandra Shekhar Azad was born on July 23, 1906, in Barbara, a small village in the present-day Alirajpur district of Madhya Pradesh, India. His birth name was Chandrasekhar Tiwari. He hailed from a Brahmin family and was the son of Sitaram Tiwari and Jagrani Devi. Azad's early life was marked by traditional values, and his family was deeply rooted in the Indian culture. He had a strong influence of patriotism at a very young age, which would define his future actions. Azad moved to Varanasi during his childhood, where he spent a significant part of his early life. It was in this city that he was exposed to the vibrant nationalist movement, which played a crucial role in shaping his worldview. Education. Azad received his early education at Gandhi Kashi Vidyapith in Varanasi. Though his formal education was not extensive, he was a keen learner, particularly about India's history, culture, and the political situation under British rule. Azad was highly inspired by Swami Vivekananda's teachings, and his education mostly revolved around reading nationalist literature and learning about the sacrifices made by freedom fighters. During his childhood, Azad developed a love for martial arts and self-discipline, which later helped him in his revolutionary activities. Early career. Azad's career began at an early age when he became involved in the non-cooperation movement led by Mahatma Gandhi. At the age of 15, he was arrested by the British for participating in protests against colonial rule. When presented before a magistrate, the young Azad gave his name as Azad, meaning free, and declared his father's name to be Swatantrata, freedom. This name, Azad, became his lifelong identity. This early involvement with the freedom struggle marked the beginning of his journey as a revolutionary. Although he was initially part of the mainstream Indian National Congress, INC, his path soon diverged towards more radical revolutionary movements. Motivation to join the freedom struggle. Azad's deep-rooted desire for India's independence and his profound sense of patriotism were primarily ignited by the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 1919, which deeply impacted the youth across India. The brutality with which British troops killed innocent people stirred anger in him and motivated him to take an active part in the freedom struggle. His admiration for leaders like Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, and Lala Lajpat Rai further strengthened his resolve. He was also influenced by revolutionary groups like the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, HSRA, which advocated armed struggle against the British. Ideology. Azad was a radical nationalist who believed that India could only attain freedom through revolutionary actions, including the use of force if necessary. His ideology was shaped by his frustration with the non-violent methods of the Congress and his belief that only a militant, aggressive approach would shape the foundations of the British Empire. Azad firmly believed in the ideals of socialism and secularism and advocated for complete independence, Purna Swaraj, for India. He also felt that the British had to be fought head-on, which led him to form revolutionary cells across India to carry out acts of defiance against British rule. Main achievements: joining the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, HSRA. In the early 1920s, Azad joined the HSRA, a revolutionary group led by Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev. The group aimed to overthrow British rule through direct action. The Kakori train robbery, 1925. One of Azad's significant actions was his involvement in the Kakori train robbery. This was a daring attempt to rob a British train carrying treasury funds in order to fund revolutionary activities. The mission was a success, but several members were later arrested, and it marked a turning point in Azad's life. Assassination of John Saunders, 1928. After the death of Lala Lajpat Rai due to police brutality, Azad, along with Bhagat Singh and Rajguru, plotted the assassination of J.P. Saunders, a British police officer responsible for the violence against Lajpat Rai. This act of revenge became one of the most notable milestones in Azad's revolutionary career. Chandra Shekhar Azad's role in the HSRA. Azad was instrumental in reorganising the HSRA after the arrest and execution of many of its members, including Bhagat Singh. He remained a guiding force and was heavily involved in planning several other attacks against the British. The shooting of J.P. Saunders. Azad took part in the shooting of J.P. Saunders, which was one of his most iconic acts. Although it was carried out by Bhagat Singh and Rajguru, Azad provided key support in organising and executing the plan. Last days and death. Azad's life came to a tragic end on February 27, 1931, at the age of 24. After being betrayed by a police informer, Azad was surrounded by the British forces in Alfred Park, Allahabad, now Prayagraj. He fought bravely, shooting several British officers, but was eventually cornered. Azad, true to his name, chose to die fighting rather than surrender. In his final moments, he shot himself in the head, ensuring that he would never be captured alive. His last words were said to be, "I am Azad, I am free." Conclusion and legacy. Chandrasekhar Azad's martyrdom became a symbol of fearlessness, dedication, and the sacrifice of the youth during the Indian freedom movement. Despite his young age, his contributions left an indelible mark on India's history. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Indians. He is celebrated as one of the most iconic revolutionaries of the freedom struggle, and his life was a testament to his unwavering commitment to India's independence. Azad's spirit of rebellion, courage, and selflessness are revered not just in India, but across the world. The Azad Park in Allahabad, where he died, stands as a memorial to his bravery. Chandrasekhar. Azad's life reminds us that freedom often comes at a great cost, and the young revolutionary's sacrifices continue to resonate as a powerful testament to the courage and resilience of the Indian struggle for independence.
आजादी बातों से, सुलह से और भीख से नहीं, खून से मिलती है।
Birth and early life. Subhash Chandra Bose was born on January 23, 1897, in Cuttack, Orissa, to Janakinath Bose and Prabhavati Devi. He was the ninth child among 14 siblings in a well-to-do Bengali Kayastha family. His father was a respected lawyer, while his mother was a devout and pious woman. From an early age, Subhash exhibited signs of brilliance, strong leadership, and deep patriotism. He was profoundly influenced by the teachings of Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahansa, which shaped his thoughts on nationalism and selfless service.
Education. Subhash Chandra Bose completed his early education at Ravenshaw Collegiate School in Cuttack, where he excelled academically. He later moved to Presidency College, Kolkata, where he studied philosophy. However, due to his involvement in student protests against British rule, he was expelled from the college. He later joined Scottish Church College and completed his degree in 1919. With encouragement from his father, Subhash travelled to England to appear for the Indian Civil Services (ICS) examination. He passed the exam in 1920 with a commendable rank, 4th, but his inner calling for India's independence made him resign in 1921 before taking up the post. This was a defining moment in his life, marking his complete devotion to the freedom struggle. Early career. After resigning from the ICS, Subhash returned to India and joined the Indian National Congress (INC) under the mentorship of Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das. He worked closely with him in Bengal, organizing protests, setting up educational institutions, and mobilizing youth participation in the freedom movement. In 1923, Bose became the president of the All India Youth Congress and later the secretary of the Bengal Congress. His political career took a turn when he was arrested for the first time in 1925 and sent to Mandalay jail in Burma, Myanmar, for his suspected role in revolutionary activities. During his imprisonment, he suffered from health issues but continued his ideological development. Motivation to join the freedom struggle. Bose's motivation to join the freedom struggle stemmed from his deep dissatisfaction with British exploitation of India and his belief in self-governance. He was greatly inspired by Swami Vivekananda's call for selfless service and nationalism. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 1919, and British oppression further fueled his anger and determination. Unlike Mahatma Gandhi, who advocated for non-violent resistance, Bose believed that freedom could only be achieved through armed struggle. Belief and ideology. Subhash Chandra Bose was a strong advocate of militant nationalism. He believed that the British would not grant independence to India without an armed struggle. His ideology was shaped by socialism, nationalism, and anti-imperialism. Bose's views often brought him into conflict with the moderate faction within the INC, including Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. He was a firm believer in economic self-sufficiency, industrialization, and scientific advancement. Bose sought inspiration from countries like the Soviet Union, Germany, and Italy, where he observed strong nationalist movements. His belief in universal brotherhood led him to unite Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, and Christians in his fight for India's independence. Main achievements. Mayor of Kolkata, 1930, Bose was elected as the Mayor of Kolkata, showcasing his rising influence. President of the Indian National Congress, 1938 to 1939, Bose was elected the INC President in 1938 and again in 1939. However, due to ideological clashes with Gandhi and Nehru, he resigned and formed the Forward Bloc to strengthen his radical approach toward independence. Formation of the Azad Hind Fauj, Indian National Army. During World War II, Bose sought help from Germany and Japan to fight against British rule. He revived the Indian National Army, INA, initially founded by Rash Bihari Bose, and led the movement with the slogan, "Give me blood, and I will give you freedom." Azad Hind Government, 1943, Bose formed the Provisional Government of Free India, Azad Hind Government, in Singapore and gained recognition from Japan, Germany, Italy, and other Axis powers. The INA's military campaign under Bose's leadership, the INA fought alongside the Japanese army against the British in Burma and northeast India, 1944–45. They reached Imphal and Kohima before being forced to retreat. Rani of Jhansi Regiment. Bose was a pioneer in women's empowerment, forming the Rani of Jhansi Regiment, an all-female combat force within the INA. Last days and death. With the collapse of the Axis powers in 1945, Bose's options dwindled. As the INA faced defeat, Bose planned to escape to Manchuria, China, via Japan. On 18 August 1945, he reportedly boarded a Japanese military plane from Taipei, Taiwan. According to official records, the plane crashed, and Bose succumbed to burn injuries in a Japanese hospital. Controversy surrounding his death. The circumstances of Bose's death remain one of the biggest mysteries in Indian history. While the official Japanese and British reports confirm his death in a plane crash, several theories suggest otherwise. Gumnami Baba theory. Some believe that Bose lived as a hermit named Gumnami Baba in Uttar Pradesh until the 1980s. Soviet Union theory. Another theory suggests that Bose was captured by the Soviet Union, where he was either imprisoned or executed under Joseph Stalin's orders. Indian government cover-up. Many believe that the Indian government knew the truth about Bose's fate but kept it hidden due to diplomatic reasons. Netaji files and investigations. Several commissions, including the Shah Nawaz Committee, 1956, the Khosla Commission, 1970, and the Mukherjee Commission, 2005, were set up to investigate his death, but none provided conclusive evidence. Conclusion. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose remains one of the most revered freedom fighters in Indian history. His unwavering courage, vision, and sacrifices continue to inspire generations. His leadership of the INA, his emphasis on unity, and his call for armed struggle against British rule left an indelible mark on India's independence movement. Whether or not he died in 1945, his spirit of nationalism and bravery lives on, making him one of India's greatest heroes.
आजादी बातों से, सुलह से और भीख से नहीं, खून से मिलती है।
Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, commonly known as Veer Savarkar, was a prominent Indian freedom fighter, nationalist and social reformer. His life and work have left an indelible mark on India's history. Birth and early life. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar was born on May 28, 1883, in the village of Bhagur, near Nashik, Maharashtra, to Damodar Pant and Radhabai Savarkar. He belonged to a Marathi Chitpavan Brahmin family, and had two brothers, Ganesh and Narayan, and a sister, Mainabai. From a young age, Savarkar exhibited a keen interest in literature, and displayed leadership qualities among his peers. His early exposure to the tales of valor and sacrifice from Indian history instilled in him a deep sense of patriotism. Education.ca. Savarkar's formal education began at the local Shivaji High School in Nashik. In 1902, he enrolled at Fergusson College in Pune, where he pursued a bachelor's degree. During his college years, he immersed himself in nationalist activities, often organizing events to inspire fellow students about India's rich heritage and the need for independence. His passion for the nation's freedom was evident in his speeches and writings, which resonated with many young Indians of his time. Early career. After completing his education in India, Savarkar aspired to further his studies in law. In 1906, he traveled to the United Kingdom and enrolled at Gray's Inn Law College in London. While in London, he became actively involved with organizations such as India House and the Free India Society, which were hubs for Indian students and revolutionaries, advocating for India's independence. His time in London was pivotal, as he connected with like-minded individuals, and deepened his commitment to the cause of freedom. Motivation to join the freedom struggle. Savarkar's motivation to join the freedom struggle was deeply rooted in his observations of British colonial rule and its detrimental impact on India. The stories of the 1857 uprising, which he later chronicled in his book The Indian War of Independence, profoundly influenced him. He viewed the revolt as a significant, though unsuccessful, attempt to reclaim India's sovereignty, and was determined to continue the fight against colonial oppression. Belief and ideology. Central to Savarkar's ideology was the concept of complete independence, Purna Swaraj, from British rule. He believed in the use of revolutionary means to achieve this goal, emphasizing the importance of armed resistance and self-sacrifice. Unlike some contemporaries who advocated for gradual reforms, Savarkar was convinced that only a decisive and forceful approach could end colonial domination. Hindutva ideology. One of Savarkar's most significant contributions was his formulation of the Hindutva ideology. In his seminal work, Hindutva, Who is a Hindu?, he defined Hindutva as the essence of being Hindu, encompassing not just religious practices but also cultural and national identity. He argued that India was fundamentally a Hindu nation, and its unity and strength lay in embracing this identity. This ideology has since become a cornerstone for various Hindu nationalist movements in India. Savarkar as a role model for revolutionary struggle of India's independence. Savarkar's life serves as an inspiration for many revolutionaries. His unwavering commitment to India's freedom, even in the face of severe adversity, exemplifies the spirit of sacrifice and determination. His writings and speeches ignited a sense of nationalism among countless Indians, motivating them to join the struggle for independence. Life as a prisoner at Andaman and Nicobar. In 1909, Savarkar was arrested for his involvement in revolutionary activities, particularly for supplying arms and being linked to the assassination of British official A.M.T. Jackson. He was sentenced to 2 life terms of imprisonment, amounting to 50 years, and transported to the notorious cellular jail in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in 1911. Life in the cellular jail was inhumane and torturous. Prisoners were subjected to extreme physical labor, including grinding coconuts for oil, breaking stones, and working under harsh conditions. Savarkar endured relentless solitary confinement, where he spent months without human interaction. He also suffered malnutrition and the cruel treatment of prison guards, who attempted to break his spirit. Despite these adversities, Savarkar remained resilient. He found innovative ways to continue his intellectual pursuits, using charcoal and thorns to write poetry and essays on the prison walls. His compositions, later compiled as Kamala, showcased his unyielding love for his motherland and his hope for a free India. Savarkar's imprisonment also exposed him to the plight of lower caste prisoners, which strengthened his resolve to promote social equality. He began advocating against untouchability and caste discrimination, planting the seeds for his later social reforms. In 1924, after several appeals and showing signs of reform, Savarkar was released from the Andaman jail, but remained under strict surveillance in Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. His time in prison significantly shaped his worldview, and he emerged as a more pragmatic nationalist, balancing revolutionary ideals with political strategy. Main achievements. Throughout his life, Savarkar achieved several milestones. Literary contributions. He authored numerous books, essays and poems that highlighted India's rich history and the need for independence. His work, The Indian War of Independence, provided a detailed account of the 1857 uprising, offering a nationalist perspective that was banned by British authorities. Founding Abhinav Bharat Society. Along with his brother, Ganesh, Savarkar established the Abhinav Bharat Society, a secret organization aimed at overthrowing British rule through revolutionary means. Advocacy for social reforms. Savarkar was a proponent of social reforms, including the abolition of untouchability and the promotion of scientific temper. He encouraged the dismantling of caste barriers and worked towards the upliftment of marginalized communities. Last days and death. In his later years, Savarkar continued to write and engage in social activities. However, following India's independence, he gradually withdrew from active politics. On February 26, 1966, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar passed away in Bombay, now Mumbai. His death marked the end of an era, but his ideas and contributions continue to influence Indian society. Legacy of Savarkar. Savarkar's legacy is multifaceted. He is remembered as a fierce patriot, a prolific writer, and a social reformer. His Hindutva ideology has been both influential and controversial, shaping political discourse in India. Various institutions, including the Savarkar National Memorial, have been established to honor his contributions and preserve his memory. Conclusion. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar's life was a testament to his dedication to India's freedom and his vision of a united nation. His contributions to literature, social reform, and political thought have left an enduring impact on India's history. While interpretations of his ideology may vary, his commitment to the nation's sovereignty and his efforts towards social upliftment remain undeniable. His ideas were the motivation for many revolutionary leaders who succeeded him in the struggle for India's independence.
आजादी बातों से, सुलह से और भीख से नहीं, खून से मिलती है।
Bhagat Singh was born on 28 September 1907 in the village of Banga in the Lyalpur district of Punjab, now in Pakistan. He was born into a patriotic Sikh family deeply involved in India's struggle for independence. His father, Kishan Singh, and his uncle, Ajit Singh, were actively engaged in the freedom movement, influencing young Bhagat Singh's early mindset. The atmosphere in his household was one of revolution and activism, shaping his ideology from a very young age. As a child, Bhagat Singh showed keen interest in India's political scenario. He often spoke about freedom and expressed his thoughts on British rule. Unlike other children of his age, he preferred to listen to political discussions rather than indulge in simple childhood games. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 1919 had a profound impact on him, strengthening his resolve to fight against British oppression.
Bhagat Singh received his early education at the local primary school in his village before moving to Lahore, where he attended the National College. The institution, established by Lala Lajpat Rai, was known for promoting nationalist ideas among students. There, Bhagat Singh was exposed to revolutionary literature, which played a crucial role in shaping his ideology. During his time at National College, he became well-versed in European revolutionary movements and socialist ideas. He was particularly influenced by Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, and Mikhail Bakunin. His studies convinced him that armed resistance was the only way to achieve independence. He also developed exceptional debating and writing skills, contributing articles to nationalist newspapers. After completing his education, Bhagat Singh joined the Hindustan Republican Association, HRA, which later became the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, HSRA. The organization aimed to overthrow British rule through direct action and armed struggle. He worked closely with other revolutionaries like Shekhar Azad, Sukhdev Thapar, and Rajguru. Bhagat Singh was also a prolific writer and journalist. He wrote extensively for nationalist publications, spreading the message of resistance and self-rule. His writings were sharp, intellectual, and thought-provoking, often calling for immediate action against colonial rule. Bhagat Singh's motivation to join the freedom struggle was a result of multiple factors, including personal experiences and the prevailing political climate. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre, where thousands of innocent Indians were killed by British forces, deeply disturbed him. This incident ignited a fire within him to dedicate his life to the cause of India's independence. Another turning point in his life was the death of Lala Lajpat Rai in 1928. Rai succumbed to injuries inflicted by the police during a protest against the Simon Commission. Bhagat Singh, filled with rage and a sense of responsibility, decided to avenge Rai's death. This led to the assassination of British police officer J.P. Saunders, whom they mistook as the police chief responsible for Rai's death. Bhagat Singh was a staunch believer in socialism, equality, and secularism. He rejected communalism and religious divisions, advocating for a united India where people of all religions could coexist harmoniously. Unlike many leaders of his time, he did not seek independence merely to replace British rule with another form of dominance. He envisioned a classless and egalitarian society. He was also influenced by anarchist and Marxist ideologies, believing that true freedom could only be achieved through economic and social reforms. His book readings included works by Lenin, Trotsky, and Marx, and he often discussed these philosophies with his comrades. Bhagat Singh became an inspirational figure for the youth of India. His bravery, intelligence, and unwavering commitment to the nation's freedom made him a symbol of resistance against colonial rule. He was fearless in his approach and believed in leading by example. Bhagat Singh played a crucial role in India's struggle for independence. His main achievements include the assassination of J.P. Saunders, the assembly bombing to protest repressive laws, and his powerful writings on revolution and freedom. Bhagat Singh, along with Rajguru and Sukhdev, was sentenced to death for his actions against the British government. He remained fearless till his last breath. On 23 March 1931, at the age of 23, he was executed. His death left an indelible mark on India's freedom struggle, making him a martyr. Bhagat Singh's legacy lives on in India's history, inspiring generations of revolutionaries and political activists. His ideals of socialism, secularism, and selfless sacrifice continue to influence modern India. Bhagat Singh remains one of India's most iconic revolutionaries. His fearless actions and intellectual contributions to the freedom struggle make him an immortal figure in India's history. His life is a testament to bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to justice.
Birth and early life. Surya Sen, popularly known as Masterda, was born on March 19, 1894, in the village of Noapara in the Chittagong district, now in Bangladesh. He hailed from a humble Brahmin family. His father, Raghunath Sen, was a priest, and his mother Basantika Devi was a housewife. Despite coming from a modest background, Surya Sen was exposed to the ideas of patriotism and independence from a young age, which influenced his later path in life. Sen's childhood was marked by the socio-political environment of British colonial rule, which became increasingly oppressive during the early 20th century. It was during these formative years that Surya Sen developed a sense of justice and anger against the British Empire's exploitation of India. Education. Sen received his early education at the local school in Noapara and later moved to the Chittagong Government School. In his school days, he was known for his enthusiasm in sports and academics. His thirst for knowledge, however, was not limited to just books. He was deeply influenced by nationalistic literature. especially by the works of leaders like Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay and Rabindranath Tagore, which sowed the seeds of his future involvement in the freedom movement. Surya Sen completed his education at Chittagong College, where he became known as a bright and disciplined student. He also took an interest in mathematics and science, but it was his growing dissatisfaction with British rule that guided his future. After finishing his studies, he briefly worked as a teacher in the Chittagong area, earning the affectionate title of Masterda Teacher Sen from his students. Early career. After completing his education, Surya Sen worked as a teacher in several schools in Chittagong. His professional life, however, was overshadowed by his growing involvement in the nationalist movement. He initially joined the Indian National Congress, INC, and became an active member of the Bengal branch of the party. In the 1920s, Surya Sen's growing dissatisfaction with the pace of the Congress's non-violent methods led him to explore more radical paths to achieve independence. He joined the Jugantar Party, a revolutionary group that sought to end British rule through armed resistance. His association with the group marked the beginning of his deeper commitment to a militant struggle for India's freedom. Motivation to join the freedom struggle. Surya Sen was deeply moved by the oppressive nature of British colonial rule. The 1911 Delhi Durbar, where the British monarch announced the shifting of India's capital from Calcutta to Delhi, was a bitter reminder of British arrogance and indifference toward Indian people. This event, coupled with the increasing political unrest in the country, galvanised Sen into joining the freedom struggle. His motivation was also fueled by the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 1919, which horrified him and many others across the country. The cruelty shown by the British during the massacre further pushed Surya Sen to embrace the path of revolution. His desire to rid India of British rule became the driving force behind his later actions. Ideology. Surya Sen was a committed revolutionary nationalist who firmly believed in armed resistance to British rule. He was influenced by the ideals of Bipin Chandra Pal and Subhash Chandra Bose, who believed that India could only achieve freedom through direct action. Sen was determined that the British would not leave India through non-violent means alone, and believed in complete independence, Purna Swaraj. Unlike many of his contemporaries in the Congress, Surya Sen did not believe in passive resistance. He was inspired by the Russian Revolution and the Irish War of Independence. His ideology was rooted in the belief that to secure India's future, there had to be militant uprisings that could challenge British power directly. Main achievements: Chittagong, Armoury Raid, 1930. Surya Sen is most famously known for his leadership in the Chittagong Armoury Raid, a bold and daring attempt to seize British arms and ammunition from the Chittagong Armoury. The raid took place on April 18, 1930, and it was one of the most significant acts of armed rebellion in India's freedom struggle. Surya Sen, along with his group of revolutionaries, attacked the armoury with the objective of looting weapons to arm the revolutionary forces and disrupt British rule in Bengal. The raid was a success, and the revolutionaries took control of the armoury, but the British responded with extreme force, organising the revolutionary movement. After the success of the Chittagong raid, Surya Sen continued to build a network of underground revolutionary groups throughout Bengal. He organised several attacks on British officials and government installations. Surya Sen's leadership inspired a new generation of freedom fighters, and he became an iconic figure of the Bengali revolutionaries. He was involved in several acts of defiance against British rule and played a significant role in the Bengal subversive movement. Leadership and strategy. Surya Sen was not only a fighter, but also an effective strategist. He managed to evade British capture for a long period, constantly shifting between safe houses, keeping his plans clandestine. His ability to lead and maintain discipline within the group earned him the trust of his comrades. He was instrumental in planning and executing the raids on European-owned estates and attacks on British military outposts. These activities significantly weakened British morale in Bengal, last days and death. After the Chittagong Armoury raid, Surya Sen's revolutionary activities came under intense scrutiny by the British authorities. His underground movement faced massive crackdowns, and despite his best efforts to stay hidden, he was eventually captured. On February 16, 1933, Surya Sen was arrested by the British police. He was tortured and put through a long trial, but remained unyielding, refusing to betray his comrades. On January 12, 1934, he was sentenced to death by hanging for his role in the Armoury raid and his revolutionary activities. Surya Sen's execution was carried out on January 12, 1934, in the Andaman Islands. Despite the tragic end to his life, his courage and undying commitment to the cause of Indian independence made him one of the most revered figures in the history of Bengal's freedom struggle. Conclusion and legacy. Surya Sen's contributions to India's freedom struggle, though often overshadowed by the more prominent leaders of the time, were invaluable. He is remembered as one of the bravest revolutionaries who fought for India's independence, and his life remains a shining example of sacrifice, patriotism, and leadership. His actions, particularly the Chittagong Armoury raid, have left an indelible mark on India's history. Surya Sen's unwavering resolve in the face of adversity became an inspiration for many future revolutionaries, and his name continues to be celebrated in the annals of India's fight for freedom. Surya Sen's legacy has been immortalised in Chittagong, where numerous memorials and institutions have been established in his honour. His story, filled with valour, selflessness and ultimate sacrifice, continues to inspire generations of Indians to fight for justice and freedom.